Assalamu alaikum and hi everyone. Today Khairul Muna and Ahmad Hafiz will be presenting competitive intelligence in legal and ethical aspect. Please be advised and be seated at your comforts.
Now, we all knew this guy from somewhere, right? Apparently, this guy leaves the presenter with these sets of questions. First of all, why CI needs legal and ethic practice. Next is how to conduct legal and ethic CI, and then some case study on legal and ethic of CI.
When defining legal and ethical in competitive intelligence, the simple view is to understand that legality is based on a written law, for example the Economic Espionage Act 1996. Whereas the ethics is based on human rights and wrongs such as code of conduct and morals values. And now the big question is, does CI legal and ethical? I'm going to let my friend answer that.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Today I would like to present about guideline for ethical competitive intelligence. There is a basic guideline for if you want to do a CI strategy, okay, to ensure that abiding by ethical standard when you are conducting competitive intelligence strategy. So number one is to comply with the law. This one is given means as much we all want to learn as much as possible our competitors. It's important that no law are broken in the process, means there is no fraud, there is no corruption, there is no cheating and so on. Something that would be considered illegal or unethical means would be hacking or wiretapping. The second one is to be honest. Always be honest what you are and where your work, where you come from. If you are dealing or engaged in conversations with someone about your project. The third is to keep record of your work. In any profession, it's important to keep record on what you are working on. In CI, it's important to keep track on everything you have been working on, not only for the off chance of something goes off course, but you are able to piece together from your research. And the last one is to align yourself with company, industry, and professional standards to ensure that you are conducting your work while holding yourself to the highest standard put in place by your company, your industry, and your responsibility as a CI. In order to be a CI professional, we need to follow the rules. We need to do the right thing to avoid unethical behavior.
Included here are elements of the Competitive Intelligence Code of Ethics developed by SCIP. Among them are, to strive continually to increase the recognition of and respect for the profession, to comply with all the applicable laws, domestic and international, to disclose accurately all relevant information, including one's identity and enterprise, prior to all interviews, to fully respect all requests for confidentiality of information, to avoid conflicts of interest in fulfilling one's duties, to provide honest and realistic recommendations and conclusions in the execution of one's duties, to promote this code of ethics within one's enterprise, with third-party contractors and within the entire profession, to adhere faithfully to and abide by one's enterprise's policies, objectives and guidelines.
CI Ethic Challenge. This case is based on South Africa properties by 2016. The first one is the low budget on CI. It will cost firms and some companies and employees to practice CI informally. It will do not appoint CI professional and instead use unskilled employees to practice CI, and at the same time may be lead to unethical and illegal practice. The second one is global economic meltdown. Global economic meltdown may cause firms to become involved in illegal and unethical behavior. They may do it under the pretense of the survival of the fittest. For example, during the pandemic COVID-19, there is a lot of companies, a lot of firms that will survive and sometimes will collapse. To survive during this time, some firms do whatever it takes to survive, and this may even include unethical and behavior. Next, lack of quality education. Basically, the background of the state is one of the important things to make sure that the implementation of CI. For example, South Africa is one of the states that the issues in the poverty. In order to implement CI, they need to increase the level of the education among the people. Without skill and knowledge in CI, it may lead to unethical behavior. The last one is the poor education system. People will be influenced by the environment, like what they read, hear, and watch, either in the bad or not, like corruption, frauds, and others. It can happen when the firm or company not aware with the environment and more to think about themselves. Companies that are not mindful of their environment and the different stakeholders tend to be unethical and illegal in their behavior.
Alright, Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. To sum up our presentation today, I would like to point out 4 points to discuss in the conclusion. Okay, first of all, practicing legal and ethical CI build trust among the CI practitioners and organization and also the competitors. Okay, next is protect the organization with a secure environment because the transaction is being done by the book. Okay, so they follow the rules and procedure. Alright, next is CI practices and practitioner become more transparent to achieve the effectiveness of the organization. Okay, and lastly, of course, by overall is the integrity is built between the organization, the CI practitioners, and also the competitors. Okay, alright, that's all we have for our group presentation today about the legal and ethical aspect in competitive intelligence. Okay, thank you for your time, thank you for listening. So after this we will have a Q&A session. If not, then thank you so much, and assalamualaikum warahmatullahi taala wabarakatuh. Okay.